Formula One has never been a simple answer sport. Even with pages and pages of guidelines, the final judgment of an incident still depends on the human eye and, of course, the moment. At the last Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the entire paddock was rocked not by a daring overtaking, but by the decision of the stewards in one of the most controversial moves of the season so far. It was at the start, turn 1 and 2, two giants facing each other. On one side, the relentless Max Verstappen. On the other, Oscar Piastri, determined to show that he wasn't there to be a co-star. The result? An aggressive move by Verstappen, cutting the curve, leaving the track and consequently keeping the lead, even though he has visibly crossed the limits. It was not long before the stewards applied a 5-second punishment to the Dutchman, who would later see the victory run through his fingers. But was the punishment fair? This is what the newspaper Autosport decided to discuss in depth with its analysts, putting the magnifying glass not only on the deal itself, but on the current state of the rules of the category. Stuart Codling, a seasoned columnist, was direct. There will always be gray areas, and Verstappen is a master at operating them. He recalls the episode with Lando Norris in Austin in 2023, and states that Max already knows how to manipulate the regulation in his favor, using the front axle position as an excuse to keep the advantage, even when he clearly wouldn't make the turn under normal conditions. Fabien Gaillard brought a tougher perspective. Punishments are too soft these days. For him, Verstappen made a calculated choice. You knew you couldn't make the curve and still insisted. Why not if the price to pay is so low? If the penalties are not a real deterrent, they serve no purpose, he said. Oleg Karpov was more thoughtful, recognizing the complexity of the situation. Someone needs to make the final decision, and for me, 5 seconds was just right. He highlighted the role of stewards as referees who, even under pressure from powerful teams like Red Bull, need to maintain impartiality. Karpov believes that by punishing Verstappen, they reaffirmed that no one is above the rules, even champions. Jake Boxall-Leg pointed his finger at something that many ignore, the design of the circuits. The problem is not the guidelines, it's the tracks. Without grass or gravel in the escape areas, it is too easy for a driver to cut through and still reap fruits. Put gravel there and see if anyone tries to repeat what Verstappen did, he provoked. The most curious of all. Red Bull, instead of accepting the verdict, opted for a media offensive. Christian Horner appeared with a collection of images trying to prove that Max was ahead. But does it change the fact that he would never be able to make that curve cleanly? And you, what did you think of this punishment? 5 seconds were enough or too little? Verstappen exaggerated, or was it just a race bid? Comment below your opinion, and, of course, if you enjoy this kind of in-depth analysis of Formula One, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything.